This is Randy Hopkins, and I'm coming at you all out there in the scene. I'm just making a screen recording here. I said, now I've never watched this video all the way through yet, and I've never watched him saying this person before, as far as in particular. But the man so far I've watched him saying has made a very good point, and the same point that I'm making here is that, this goes out, I'm saying, to Trump supporters. The ones I'm saying who said, well, who claim to love America and to say that they want justice and say that they are for equality and the whole thing. The problem is that equality normally comes down to what groups of people I'm saying that you find to be consider to be acceptable, and the groups I'm saying that you don't, well, basically screw them, right? Voted for a man that had already committed atrocities in the past, is dishonest, is a liar, is a felon, is a bad businessman that has bankrupted him, several times. But that's beside the point. When people say to me, "Oh, you're just suffering from TDS, whatever," it comes down to, I look at the news from different sides, from different angles and viewpoints. I look at the data. I look at what these people are doing, within the MAGA movement, what Trump is trying to do to this country. It just saddens me that people sit back and focus on certain issues, and to hell with the rest. People that support Trump have been part of the MAGA movement for years and years, for decades, long before Trump ever came along. And what I mean by that is that you guys and gals out there have hatred towards certain groups, in the same, the LGBTQ community, over the rights of individuals that you happen to disagree with, over abortion rights, over, a lot of things out there. And so you're focused on those things that really don't matter in the long, grand scheme of things. So you sit back and say, well, I want to vote for a guy that is against this and whatever issues that you happen to be against. But then the man comes in and starts to dismantle things that will affect everybody, including yourself. Republicans, Democrats, independents, blacks, whites, Hispanics, everybody is going to suffer because of this. And I'm just flabbergasted, I'm saying, by the stupidity of MAGA. Again, well, I don't like those niggers. I don't like them spicks or red. I don't like them seeing those wetbacks and seeing coming in here and stealing my jobs, or whatever nonsense. I don't like them seeing these trans weirdos or their agenda. And again, I agree with this whole transgender nonsense. I'm saying it is nonsense, but there is bigger things at stake here. Those issues, I'm saying, don't affect us as a nation, as far as our sovereignty, as far as our rights and freedoms. Not liking something doesn't give me the right to dictate to others that, well, because I don't like it, means I'm saying that nobody else I'm saying can be involved in that. I can't stand rap music. I can't stand, I'm saying, a lot of things, but I have no right to dictate to others just because I don't like something personally. That does not give me a right to dictate to them, on what on their viewpoints, on their personal likes or dislikes. I have no right to do so because these people are American citizens just like I am. They have a right to pursue happiness and freedom and democracy just like I do, just like you do. So, it's this idea that Trump won't come after you because because he agrees, I'm saying, with some of your policies or issues, I'm saying, dislikes. The thing is, he is. The things he's doing right now, I'm saying, trying to become king, to say that he is untouchable, trying to pass laws, to say that he will be ultimate ruler, over the law, to say that Congress, that the legislative body, I'm saying, no longer, and judges that the system doesn't matter to him because what he says goes. He wants to make law what he says the law is, to supersede our system, to supersede, I'm saying, our legal system, to supersede, I'm saying, the executive order and branches of government, to make himself basically czar, to be king. And I'm going to say something before I start this video. This gentleman here is that, I hear it all the time from a lot of people to say, well, that, well, people just use the system. People on low income are basically, just freeloaders. And some of them are, yes. I understand, I'm saying, that some people take advantage, I'm saying, of programs. People, I'm saying, that are not disabled, really. I'm saying that get on disabled or disability, SSI, SSDI, whatever. I understand that does happen. But the majority of people out there, I'm saying, on programs to help them, to pay for medical bills, for medication, for food, for housing, that they couldn't afford otherwise. To call them all just freeloaders, no. There's no one living on a fixed income that is living high on the hog. They're not living in these big fancy houses or driving new cars or eating out in the fancy restaurants every day or whatever. They can't afford it. Most people on fixed incomes, on Social Security, SSI, SSDI, or whatever, they are forced to live in shit housing, in some rundown place, I'm saying, that is government subsidized housing. They can't afford, I'm saying, to go out there, I'm saying, and take vacations or buy new vehicles and eat out in fancy restaurants or have, expensive clothes or whatever, They're not living like people will think they are. But again, people will say, oh, well, I know someone, I'm saying, this on SSI, I'm saying, and they got this new iPad or whatever. It's nonsense. Because most people, I'm saying, living on fixed incomes that are poverty class, they're not getting no more than maybe $15,000 to $20,000 a year to live on. Most people I'm seeing on SSI are getting $960 a month to live on. $960 a month I'm seeing to live on, and that has to pay for rent, insurance. If they can afford to have a car at all, car insurance, car payments, whatever. They have to pay for, oh, they get food stamps. Oh, those freeloading motherfuckers. Oh, no. They might get $100 to $200 a month, I'm saying, to pay for food. And, again, oh, they're freeloaders. But it's okay for you to sit back, and say, oh, that these millionaires that get tax breaks and subsidies from the government, they're already millionaires or billionaires. It's okay for them, I'm saying, to not pay taxes. It's okay for them to leech off the system, I'm saying. They're okay. They're good people. But God damn, if someone gets $200 a month, I'm saying, to pay for food. Oh, those fucking freeloaders. How dare they get that $10,000 a year, $12,000 a year to live on, to pay all their bills with. All those freeloading cocksuckers. While people like Elon Musk and Trump and different ones I'm saying, are multi-millionaires and billionaires, not paying a goddamn penny in taxes hardly, getting the subsidies from the government and the whole thing. Well, hey, don't worry about those people. Let's focus on, I'm saying, a family, I'm saying, that gets maybe, some subsidized housing, I'm saying, to help to put a roof over their head, or to pay for medical bills. Someone who's disabled, I'm saying, that relies on Social Security or Medicaid, care source, insurance, whatever, to help pay for their medical expenses. Oh no. And what it really comes down to is most of you motherfuckers out there, I'm saying, that are against all these programs are just angry because maybe you make just a little bit too much money, I'm saying, to qualify for those programs. I'm saying, because you can't get those food stamps because you make too much money. You can't get any subsidies to help pay towards a mortgage or rent because you make too much money. So, if I can't get those programs to help me and my family, well, fuck the rest of them. If I can't get it, then they don't need it either. And this comes back to a lot of people here. If I don't qualify for it, if I can't get it, well then why should anybody else get it? But I know I'm going on right now, but it just pisses me off in this country. It pisses me off how people look down on the poor class. Many of them, I'm saying, had worked for 10, 15, 20 years or more, paid into taxes, busted their ass, and now they have health problems. They have something that happened to them, I'm saying, that prevents them from holding a job down consistently. And all of a sudden now, well, they're freeloaders. They're bad people, I'm saying, just mooching off the system. But yet, you sit back and allow big corporations, or say that big corporations get bailouts and tax breaks and exemptions, multi-billionaires. But hey, that's okay. But fuck the poor guy. But anyway, moving on to this video.
My friends, how are you? I hope you're having a wonderful day today. Always good to see you for yet another video. So today, my friends, we have absolutely tragic news. Possibly the saddest story ever told on YouTube. So I hope you're sitting down. I hope you have a Kleenex or a tissue with you so you can dry your tears, because I'm about to tell you the saddest story that's ever existed in the history of the internet. Are you ready? Take a deep breath. Here we go. My friends, we have greatly offended MAGA once again. Oh, they're here, baby, and they are real mad at us. And they are real upset because we, together, We have come together as a community. We've made our voices heard. We've stood up for ourselves. We've stood up for what's right instead of what's standing up for wrong. And that's really frustrating to MAGA out there because they're finally starting to realize maybe we're a little bit of a threat to their fascism. And that's really starting to bother them. And I don't mean me. I mean we collectively. First of all, huge congratulations to the Midas Touch Network, who has dethroned Joe Rogan last month as the most listened to podcast in the world.
What does 200% more power mean? It means I drill 200% more. I drive
To podcast in the world. That's a big fucking deal, my friends. That is a huge deal. I'm not affiliated with Midas Touch, but it is very good to see people on our side finally getting ahead of all the propaganda, getting in front of it and doing big things for the rest of us out there. But also us, as a community. All these channels spread out across YouTube that are speaking common sense, that are standing up for themselves finally, because that is something that has been missing on the left for a long time, is people with a backbone and a spine to stand up for what's right and wrong. I remember when I started this channel, I was desperately waiting for somebody in my truck. I don't know why I just said that. I have no idea why that came out of my mouth. What I meant to say is I was in my truck desperately waiting for a guy like me to come along and start a YouTube channel. And then one night it occurred to me, I'm a guy like me. As a matter of fact, I'm the most like me of any other guys out there. So that's how I ended up starting this channel, because I realized I'm a guy like me. The point of today's video is we have greatly offended MAGA yet again. They are coming out in force to show us how sad they are. And boy, are they some fucking crybabies. They cry all the goddamn time. This is the most sensitive fucking Nazi movement I've ever seen in my life.
And again, all I ever hear people say is, oh, you know, I mean, from the Trump supporters or the right, oh, you're just crying. Oh, you're just crying. Well, I wonder why. Yes, we're bitching about it. Because there's a reason to bitch about it. I mean, there's a major concern here. There's a reason I'm saying to stand up and speak out, you know. And people I'm saying, like, I won't say their last names, but Jeremy, people like Bill, people like, the list goes on and on. You know, they say, oh, you just have TDS, or oh, you're crying. You know, no, we're not crying. We're speaking out against this bullshit. While they sit back, people like Jeremy, people like Bill, the list goes on and on. While they just laugh at it and think it's all a big joke of saying, you know, oh, you're just all cry babies, all you libtards and blah blah blah, you know, because they can't see what's going on here. They don't take it seriously. Oh, it's a big joke. Right now, we live in a time in this country that is unprecedented. We have a dictator wannabe that is unprecedented. There's a reason why people like myself and a friend of mine, Chris, speak out. There's a reason why me and thousands and thousands and tens of thousands, if not millions of others, see what's going on. We see the warning signs. We see what the man, as far as Trump and his criminal organization, is trying to do to this country. But moving on.
I've never seen so many people throwing up their little Nazi salutes and then crying about their fucking feelings all the time. But that is where we're at, my friends, today in America. So, we're going to talk today about who exactly MAGA is, understanding who and what we're up against. Look, I am qualified to speak on this, my friends. I'm from the country. I'm a truck driver. I've been surrounded by people that were going to be MAGA my entire life, because the MAGA movement existed long before MAGA existed. This has been something in the process for years and years. These are the people I grew up around, okay? So we're going to talk about who they are exactly and what they are. And that
Exactly, you know, as I said in the beginning of this video, that the MAGA movement has been going on for decades because of people's prejudices, of bigotry, hatred towards certain groups. They say, you know what, instead of saying live and let live, oh no, fuck them. You know, I don't care about their rights. I don't care about women's rights. I don't care about whatever, you know, because if I don't like it over religious nonsense or whatever it might be, a lot of it is over religious nonsense. But, you know, again, it's the hatred, the bigotry, and I am just as guilty. I mean, I have, you know, some bigotry towards LGBTQ, transgender nonsense and all. And I admit that. I guess I was raised that way, and I'm trying to improve myself on this. I realize, I'm saying, that my viewpoints, I'm saying, on that, you know, don't mesh up, I'm saying, especially I'm saying with most liberals or atheists. You know, I am not far left or far right, but kind of in between. I have my own ideas about things I'm saying, but again, I don't say don't help those people or give them a fair shake because I don't like the color of their skin, or because I don't like how they act or how they dress or whatever. You know, I say, look, they're human beings, they're Americans, and they deserve the respect as Americans, regardless if I personally believe in trans or Pride Month or whatever. Because again, it comes down to there's a lot more at stake here than all that. The big picture is freedom, democracy, diversity. But moving on.
Going to be the point of the video. Real quick before we get into that, thank you to everyone that's helping to support the channel. We've got quite a few new channel members coming in. We've had a few super thanks come in over the last few videos, and I wanted to say thank you for everyone that's helping this channel grow. We have passed our first 25,000 subscribers, and we ain't stopping there, baby. So check the pinned comment. There you will find the information for the Discord if you want to join our community there. You will find the channel membership information, and you will find my Blue Sky link, where I've also passed 1,000 followers over there. That's pretty cool too, isn't it? So today I want to talk about who exactly MAGA is and the people that we are going up against as we continue to put up our fight finally. And I want to say, I'm proud of fucking all of us out there. For years, they have been pushing us around, telling us that we're nothing but crybabies, we're weak, whining liberals, and it turns out they were the bitches the entire time, but that's okay. We're getting through it. So the first observation I want to make about who MAGA is these are some of the laziest pricks I've ever met in my life. And look, I'm going to back that up with actual information, observations, things that I have seen out here. For one, if you don't have what it takes to survive in life, if you don't have that fighting spirit, that fire in your belly to get up and go after your goals, here's the easiest thing you can do in life to fucking make it not your fault anymore. Blame other groups. That's a staple of the MAGA movement now, isn't it? That's their biggest thing. They love blaming other people for their downfalls. If it's not the Mexicans taking up all their good jobs, then it's all the DEI hires still taking up all their good jobs. Nowhere along the line have they put two and two together and went, fuck, I'm just an underachiever and I need to try harder. All they do is target other groups and blame them for why they're not where they want to be in life. Listen, I've heard it my whole life. I've heard it my whole damn life. You know, the Mexicans come here and they take our jobs away from us, son. They take our jobs and then we get the scraps, we get what's left, which doesn't make any fucking sense. Listen, the guys out there working in those fields, the guys out there doing construction, any number of jobs, the meat packing plants, all these hard physical labor jobs, we didn't want those to begin with. Those are hard-working people. My back hurts just thinking about it. We didn't want those fucking jobs. We just wanted the excuse. We wanted to be able to say it was someone else that was causing our problem. That way we could not have to ever take any responsibility for it. And like I said, that's the staple of the MAGA movement, is being a lazy sack of shit. So goddamn lazy that you don't feel like you're in charge of your own destiny. You can't stand up and figure out what it is you want to do in life. So instead, you just blame other groups.
Exactly. And again, I'm not painting all MAGA or all right-wing supporters and saying the same way. But ask yourself this question. Most people I'm seeing you've known, or friends, or family, or neighbors, or whatever in the public, if they want to hire a crew to come in and do some labor work, in their house, like to put a roof on, or to have, as far as to have a new roof put on, or to have some new siding put on their house, or whatever it might be, it's usually a crew of what you might call wetbacks, spicks, brownies. And they come in and do a superb job for half the price I'm seeing you'd pay white guys coming in, I'm seeing to do it, that do a half-ass job for twice the money, right? It's hilarious to me because of the hypocrisy of people. Because they'll say, well, yes, those brownies, those wetbacks or whatever, are hard workers and do a damn good job. But you know what? And for less money. But man, once they get done with the job, I want them back in Mexico.
That's the kind of people we're up against.
All right, so you guys keep asking about this new credit trick that erases negative marks and shoots your scores into this.
Sad, isn't it? Yeah, it really is. But a very concerning part of this that I want to talk about is we have so many people in America right now that are lining up, my friends. They are lining up and cheering. What are they cheering for? Fascism. They're watching as a government comes in and starts taking away rights one by one, and they're standing there and they're cheering for it. Obviously, on the surface, that seems a little bit problematic. Now, for a while there, I was thinking, okay, they're just thinking that, and I'm not excusing this in any way, but they're just thinking, well, if they can start targeting the other groups that I don't like, that will be fine. We got to get the Mexicans out of here. We got to get the black population in their place. We got to make sure that we have the better jobs than them. We got to get the DEI hires out of the way so we can finally have the good jobs, right? And what's funny now is they're getting hit by it. That's shocking now, isn't it, that they're getting hit by it? No, we all saw that coming is the answer. But anyways, I'm trying to collect my thoughts here because I had a point with that. But we are witnessing people line up to have their rights taken away from them by the government. And they're cheering it on and they're celebrating it. You know why, in my honest opinion? Is because they're so weak. They don't have what it takes to be competitive in life. They are just begging for a government to take control and tell them what it is they're going to do. Tell them how much money they can make. Tell them what they can own. And if you think I'm fucking wrong, then look at all the farmers right now that are fucking losing their minds because they're going to lose their farms. They voted for this. They said, I want Donald Trump to come in here and I want him to, first of all, I want him to get rid of my migrant labor. You know, the other people that I exploit for cheap labor so that I can keep my farm alive. They asked for that to go away. And look, I would understand it if it was a humanitarian thing. Like, look, this country is taking advantage of people from poorer countries and we shouldn't do that anymore. That would be a good reason now, wouldn't it? Sure it would. But that's not how migrant labor is viewed. Migrant labor is viewed as cheap labor so we can keep our farms going. But they wanted that taken away from them. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense, right? And then if you go look at Project 2025, which I've looked at only a little bit, but I have gathered the bits and pieces that I need to from the internet, the farmland agriculture was in the plan the entire time to take away the land and get it sold off to big agriculture out there. And we know that JD...
Exactly, you know, for corporate farms. And it's pretty much that way already. I'll say that, independent farmers out there, some of them I'm saying, are still independent, but they're still ruled by the government in some cases on what they can plant, when, how, what chemicals to use, or what, I guess beside the point, but it's getting pretty bad, and people I'm seeing, use excuses. Again, because they focus on the groups of people that they don't like, and they think that, that Trump's policies are not going to affect them because, they don't have a farm, or because they're independent farmers, or that they're not, this group, a part of this group, I'm saying, or whatever. So, that won't affect me. That won't affect them saying prices. The tariffs I'm saying that Trump wants, on China, Canada, Mexico, you name it. That on the European Union, that won't affect anything. It's already starting to. Every economist, every person out there, professionals, have said the same thing. Just give it time. Oh, but that won't affect me none. Because I was focused too much on abortion rights and saying, and LGBTQ and trans and the border and whatever. But all these policies that Trump is trying to push through, all these executive orders and saying that Trump's pushing through, is going to affect everybody. Anyway, I'm going to end this video with, you asked for it. People try to warn you for the last, during Trump's first administration, people were going, shit, this is not, again, it's just a continuous, shitstorm. This country is a dumpster fire right now. We are losing our allies and friends, other countries. It's coming. That's all I can say. And I'm hoping that this dumpster fire doesn't get bigger. I'm really hoping that, but but as long as people like MAGA or right-wing conservative dumbasses that can't see the full picture and can't realize that Trump is going to come after you and your families, your friends, your neighbors, because of his policies. And once you realize it, and maybe you don't, right now you're laughing, oh, he's just crazy, Randy's just nuts, I'm saying, but mark my word, it's coming. Anyway, I'm done. And I wish you all the best.